I got my snowman cup out because today it was freezing this morning. It was 33 degrees when I woke up this morning. We had a slight frost last night, so I had to cover these babies up. So we got our row cover on right here over top our peppers. Everything else seemed to do just fine back here. And actually in our 7-day forecast, we've got temperatures that are going to reach 90 degrees. This is how it works in spring in Michigan, is some days you have row cover on your peppers and other days it's going to be 90 degrees. Shh, don't tell my boss, but I took the day off so we could plant today. We're going to work on getting this garden planted today, and we're going to show you guys some tips and tricks of how we do it here at Gagne Farms. Sometimes here we need to plant things in certain areas of the garden to avoid the frost and to avoid the extreme heat. So we're going to show you guys where we're planting things, how we're planting it, how we're prepping our beds, and how we're amending it. Stay tuned. It's all coming up now. We've also got our layers and our turkeys that we need to move into this brooder this weekend. They're getting a little bit too big for the small brooders in the barn. We got to get them outside. It's going to be too hot in there. If it's 90 degrees in this barn, it is way too hot. They'd cook in there. So we're going to move these guys out, get them outside. It's going to be warm enough here, probably tomorrow, the day after, that they can stay outside and they will be just fine. We have the small brooder. They're going to stay in there for a little bit. And then we've got our meat chickens that are going to go on our chicken tractors this weekend as well. First off this morning, we're going to go inside and get our plant starts. I'm going to put them in the back of the truck, and I'm going to put the truck over here into the sun so they can start hardening off today. We're not probably going to get any of the plant starts planted today, but we will do it throughout the weekend. And I want to start getting them hardened off here for a few days. That'll make transplanting a lot easier on the plants. All right, I got all the plants up from the basement. I got them in the back of the truck. I got them in full sun, and I just watered them in a little bit. They were already watered from being in the basement. We bottom water down there, but I wanted to give them a quick spritz on top so they didn't dry out. We're gonna leave them out here for a few hours, and then we'll probably put them in the barn. It's gonna be warm enough tonight to keep them in the barn overnight, and I don't want to have to take them up and down the basement steps anymore. This is pretty much all the starts that we have left to get into the garden right now. We're going to be starting a few different successions of different things, namely lettuce, zinnias, a few things like that. I still have some root crops to plant, like my carrots I should have got in a long time ago, and turnips, kohlrabi, maybe a few more radishes, things like that. I also have some beans we need to get in the ground, so we're going to be doing that today as well. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're doing here with this garden. So a few of the things we got here, we've got onions. I believe those are floss flowers, amaranth, snapdragons, stock, tomatoes, peppers. We got some herbs here, cilantro. We got some dill. We got some marigolds. These are more flowers that Candace planted. Some zinnias, flowers. We've got, let's see, cauliflower, dill, I already said. And we got some tray of coleus here. That's pretty much what we got left here to go. We're doing really good. I'm going to take this row cover off right now. It's warm enough. It's not going to frost anymore. We're past the frost stage, I believe. So I'm going to take that down and we're going to start prepping beds. These guys been under cover for a few days, so I'm gonna give them a quick spritz with the hose and get these guys watered up before it hits full sun on them. Candace planted peas and pinto beans over here the other day, and she couldn't find the bush beans, but I found the beans. So I'm just gonna finish up planting this little row of beans right here. And what I'm doing, I am planting just on this side of the chicken wire, And in a week or so, I'm gonna plant on the other side. So we can have a little bit of a staggered succession of peas and beans. All right, there's our first succession of peas and beans planted. We're gonna move on to the rest of this garden. All right, we're out at the radish bed right now. I'm gonna just try to fill in some of these bare spots right here. My germination was a little bit spotty, so I'm gonna just try to go in and fill in, and hopefully that'll be my second succession then of radishes. It's probably gonna be too late now to plant a third. It's gonna be too hot. Germination is gonna be really bad, and the radishes will tend to bolt before they'll bulb up. So I think right now I've got a shot at a second succession. I'm gonna give it a try. Can't hurt, just a few seeds. I have all my premium seeds here. I got these from True Leaf Market. I'll leave a link down below in the description, and you guys can check this link out. True Leaf Market has a wide selection of seeds. That's where I've started getting my seeds from lately. They're really good with shipping. Customer service is excellent. Highly recommended. Let's get this bed planted. We're back out in the garden today, and we're trying to get this puppy slammed in. We want to make sure we get everything in the ground this weekend. I've got about 7 more beds to prep, and I believe I'm going to start prepping beds ahead of Candace, and Candace is going to start planting out the rest of our seedlings. Candace is down here planting snapdragons, and it is getting warm out here. We've got our zinnias in down here. We're going to get another succession of those going too. And I'm still prepping beds. All right, doing the carrots a little bit different this year. Kind of just made some rows with old paint stirrer here. I wetted down the soil quick first, and then I just sprinkled my seeds on top. The first 4 rows are sugar snacks. The next 4 rows are Mokum. The next 4 rows are Danvers, and then I got 1 row of Scarlet Nantes. Scarlet Nantes. So that's kind of what we got here. I really don't think that these guys are gonna germinate very well. It's supposed to be super hot. I don't know if I can keep them cool enough, but we're gonna try it. If I have to replant, I've got plenty of seed to replant, so I'm gonna cover these guys up. Man, we have been planting all weekend here at Gagne Farms, and we basically have most everything in this garden, but it has been a struggle. It's been super hot. Earlier last week we were getting freeze warnings. This week we've got 90 degrees for the next 7 days. So all of our plant starts, even though we harden them off well, they're just struggling because it's so hot out here. Keep watering in the morning and the evenings, and try to keep everything as moist as we can. I think they'll be all right. The majority of it will be all right. And we do have some extra starts here that we can kind of plug in if we do lose any. I'm going to do a full garden tour shortly, but we're still planting the last few things at the end of the garden down here. We've got our shady spot back there, and we usually just plant zucchini, a few extra flowers, things of that nature. So with that being said, we're pretty much in, guys. Make sure you guys keep following us, and make sure your bells click for notifications down below. I know YouTube likes to change that around every once in a while on us. We have lots of things coming up here on Gagne Farms you're not going to want to miss. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.